Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you can see today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout 2017 tag. So obviously I've been away for a while, so it is quite late in the year, but I really wanted to do this tag. I'm really excited to answer the questions because I didn't actually do it last year either. Here we go. Question 1 is best book you've read so far this year. I'm going to go with The Power by Naomi Alderman. I've been studying utopian fiction a lot this year and it has a lot of concepts in it about female power and femininity and feminism, and I really like the way that she has captured all the different narratives and the different perspectives. It's a really incredible book and I would highly recommend it to anyone. Question 2 is best sequel you've read this year. So as I've mentioned previously, I have not fully read the Harry Potter series yet. I am very slowly making my way through the collection. So the best sequel that I read this year is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I really enjoyed it. It's always been one of my favourite films as well. It is more underwhelming for me reading it for the first time than a lot of people that I know that grew up with the books in their childhood. I grew up with the films, so it's slightly different, but I really enjoyed it. Question 3 is new release you haven't read yet but really want to, and that is going to have to be Cassandra Clare's Lord of Shadows, because I've just not had the time to read a book like that. It's in a box at the minute since I moved out. I've not felt the need to dig it out yet. I'm really looking forward to reading it this year, so hopefully I actually get to it soon. Question 4 is most anticipated release for second half of the year, and that has to be The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. If you have read his Dark Material trilogy, he is releasing his prequel series. It's going to be a trilogy. It starts before the Northern Lights took place and I'm so excited. Question 5 is biggest disappointment. I haven't read any books that have disappointed me this year. I think because a lot of my reading has revolved around classic literature and modern classics because of university. I've never really been disappointed by a classic before, so I don't have a biggest disappointment. Number 6 is biggest surprise. My biggest surprise this year was The One by John Mars. I started reading this book last year when I was doing my 2-week internship at Penguin. I really enjoyed reading it, but the 2 weeks ended and I hadn't actually finished the book yet, and I was so upset that I had to leave it behind. But when I actually picked up the copy after it was released earlier this year, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would. I really liked the premise already. Every new chapter was a surprise and something outrageous happened, and it was just really incredible. It kind of has utopian feel to it. It follows the idea that you can basically give your DNA to this corporation for actually a really cheap price, and they let you know when your soulmate matches. I really liked the way that it ended. It was really enjoyable and I highly recommend it. Question 7 is favourite new author. So this debut collection came out a while ago now, but I've only just picked it up. I literally did a review video for it a couple of days ago, but I fell in love with the collection as I was reading it. I read it so quickly. My favourite new author is Amanda Lovelace. She's a poet and her next collection is coming out next year and I'm already so excited to get my hands on it. Question 8 is newest fictional crush. It took me a while to think about this question. I don't really have any new crushes this year. I have started reading The Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I did kind of get a feel for Cal. It's not got to a point yet where I feel a big connection, but I can kind of feel something coming. He's the kind of character that I always find myself drawn to. That's fictional crush that I feel coming on this year. Question 9 is newest favourite character. So I'm going to go back to The Power again by Naomi Alderman, and I'm going to say Roxy, who is the British girl that ends up in America. She's got a bad attitude, she's powerful, and she creates these incredible relationships through the novel. I really like the way that her story goes down. I think it was really well executed. I always look forward to reading her chapters. I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to give anything away about what happens. She just keeps it punchy and I look forward to that sense of humour. Question 10 is book that made you cry. Because I've not had a lot of time to read this past I don't know, 9 months. I've been reading a lot of poetry collections because the books are short and you get so much out of them in such a short space. One book that I have been reading is again another debut collection. It's called More Than You by Christina Thatcher, an author from Wales as well. So I went to one of the readings and I got her to sign my book, and I was sat while she was doing the reading nearly crying, and then when I went home and I read the book again, tears were flowing. It's a really dark but moving collection, really lovely. It deals a lot with grief and loss and kind of finding yourself again after you lose someone in your life. I would highly recommend it. It's a really beautiful book. She's from America or Canada, I think. I can't remember where, but she moved to Wales a few years ago and is now settled here and writing poetry, and it kind of interweaves America with her life here in Wales as well. Question 11 is book that made you happy. And I'm going to go with Unfiltered by Lily Collins. I absolutely adore her as an actress. She's played a lot of big characters that I've been really influenced by, and she recently released a memoir about her life and the struggles that she's been through. It deals a lot with eating disorders and depression, anxiety, and it even has little segments about eyebrows. It really made me happy to get to know her on a different level and really experience some of the things that she's been through as well, that I have faced in my life. It's nice to kind of hear that from people that have influenced you a lot through the media, and I would highly recommend it to anyone struggling and doesn't know how to deal with it. She tells you how she coped and how she dealt with it and continues to deal with her struggles. Question 12 is most beautiful book you've bought this year, and I do not need to hesitate at all. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor is the most beautiful book I've come across in a very long time. I adore the cover art. I think it's so beautiful. Obviously I got the UK edition, so it's very different to the American, I think, and some other European editions. I'm struggling to come up with one that even comes close to Laini Taylor's recent publication. Question 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And again, I'm going to go with a recent release that is killing me, that I haven't read it yet, and that is Songrising by Samantha Shannon. It's the third book in her series, and I just haven't read it yet. I haven't had the time. I had all these books pre-ordered and I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet. I do want to reread The Bone Season and The Mime Order this summer as well before I dive into the Songrising, just to make sure that I have all the details packed right at the front of my mind. And finally, question 14, favourite book community member. I have gone with an Instagram account, and that is Lauren at Fiction Tea. Her Instagram has just really stood out to me this year. I've been following her for about a year now, maybe a year and a half, and I've always really enjoyed her pictures, but lately they've just been like way up here. She's like raised the bar for Bookstagram, and I love every time that one of her pictures comes up on my feed. It's really nice to see her start so many conversations. I'll link her down below as well. Yeah. And that ends my tag video for mid-year book freakout 2017. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know as well in the comments if you agree or disagree with some of my choices. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy what I have coming your way.